Well, today was interesting. Zelenskyy went to the White House and met the fashion police.
Yes, I had ready folks. How are you? Ready, shot? He's all dressed up today.
But everybody was getting along fine. Zelenskyy was there to sign the mineral deal and start peace negotiations. The first 30 minutes went great. Even the reporters were teasing the Ukrainian about his clothes.
Why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest. Why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if you do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not respecting the dignity of this office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe one.
Maybe something
like yours. Yes.
That'd be great.
Maybe something better. I don't know.
I do like your clothing, but
Yeah, really?
even though I think he's a great guy, by the way. But I don't know if you two like each other. But you know what? I think
No,
I think
why?
he's
I like this guy.
I think he's dressed beautiful.
So,
Everyone seemed friendly, about to eat lunch, just doing what they do. Then for some reason, Zelenskyy got an attitude.
I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes.
The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
he killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come to the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president.
What the heck is Zelenskyy doing giving us a history lesson like we don't know Putin's a snake? We know Putin's violated deals before under Democrat presidencies. What good does it do Zelenskyy to call us naive? We're not naive. If anyone's naive, it's Zelenskyy. He didn't even think Russia was going to invade, even when Biden's CIA was like, guy, they're going in. And if you don't think you can do a deal with Putin, then why are you even here? Joe Biden's in Delaware. This is a new group.
Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
Is he playing cards or Russian roulette? Who does he think he is coming here in front of the cameras and telling our president that if we don't sign a security pact, we're next? We're not doing a security deal with Ukraine. That's why they're not getting into NATO. NATO doesn't want them in NATO. That's a trap. That's going to trigger World War III. The mineral deal is the security deal, because if Americans are in Ukraine doing business, Russia's not going to start shooting at our contractors. Ukraine's in no position to negotiate terms. We're in charge. We'll tell Zelenskyy what the terms are. He can either accept it, fight Russia himself, or go look for another sponsor. And good luck, because the Europeans aren't going to cut it. And I get it. I have respect for Zelenskyy. His country got invaded. He didn't flee. He stayed and fought. Ukraine fought. They fought hard. They fought the Russians to a stalemate in the east. An amazing job. But now it's trench warfare, and they're dug in like World War I. And the Ukrainians don't have the bodies to throw into the front lines like the Russians do. That's why Zelenskyy wants to end it. The Europeans want to end it. We want to end it, and Russia does too. That's why they're at the table. A proxy war that goes nowhere. Is that in America's best interests? Zelenskyy didn't read the room. He didn't even say thank you.
Have you said thank you once this entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No, you've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning.
know.
You're not winning this.
Don't tell the vice president he's speaking too loudly. He can speak however he wants to in the White House. Have you ever seen a foreign leader come into America and talk this way? And everyone knows if Zelenskyy had come in, signed the deal, showed some gratitude, it would have gone a long way. And it would have reminded the American people that Zelenskyy is a victim. We could have sympathized with him, and we do. His country's been under attack. But we saved Zelenskyy's life. We saved his country. And it was an honor to save his country. And if you want to have an attitude, because war is hell and you're fighting for your survival, I get that. But do it in private. What do you think was going to happen if you're going to do this in front of the press? You think Trump's going to let it fly? So if you weren't ready to sign the deal, why did you fly here? And if you didn't like the language of the mineral deal, have your team hash it out with us. Push the trip back a week, and then fly over. Don't fly here saying you're going to sign on the dotted line and then argue about what's not in the deal on TV.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, through
I
this
said thank
stupid
you.
president, $350 billion.
You voted
We gave
for
you
your
military equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about West?
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me-
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
Zelenskyy was already on thin ice. And now he's going toe-to-toe with Trump like this is some kind of debate. We're not here to debate. You can debate behind the scenes. You can debate at lunch. But if you debate in the open like this, you're going to lose because Ukraine has no leverage. The minerals were their only leverage. And without those, you're not getting a peace deal. At a certain point, it didn't even look like Zelenskyy wanted peace.
You tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go, and I wanted this. Look, if you can get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting
Of
killed.
course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a
But I
ceasefire.
said to you,
I want a
with
ceasefire
guarantees.
because you'll get a ceasefire faster than any agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
doesn't
with
matter for you
me.
what-
That
what
wasn't
is-
with me.
It
That was
wasn't
with
with you.
a guy named Biden who was not a smart person.
This
That
is
was
your,
with,
this
that was
is
with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me, that was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is, Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You gotta be more thankful.
Zelenskyy wants guarantees. I would too. But Russia invaded under Bush, under Obama, under Biden. Putin never invaded under Trump. And Trump's saying, I'm the guarantee. And if we have Americans in Ukraine excavating minerals, that's a double guarantee. And if push comes to shove, something tells me that American weapons are always available. Zelensky's not going to get a better deal than that.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do we do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right
What are
now,
you saying?
What
She's
if
asking,
Russia
what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now?
But they have
Okay?
weapons to
What if
fight.
they broke it?
They-
I don't know, they broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you. Netanyahu might have had it out with Biden, but he didn't come into the Oval Office and point his finger in his face. After World War II, The French and the British didn't dictate terms to the Americans. We said, get rid of your colonies. Here's the Marshall Plan. Here's how you're going to pay us back. This is the New World Order. Do you think Karzai in Afghanistan came to the White House and lectured Bush on live TV? Zelenskyy really screwed up. Even the Ukrainian ambassador couldn't watch. Zelensky's never done a deal like this in his life. Trump's had a lifetime of doing international business deals, and he's a two-term president. He did the Abraham Accords, renegotiated NAFTA, the China trade deal. He's getting hostages back all over the world. He has his party in lockstep, and he has tycoons from all over flying to Washington to announce billion-dollar investments. And what, Zelensky's jumping up and down and picking fights? What's that going to do? What's gotten into this guy?
The problem is, I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing.
Trump and Zelenskyy were supposed to have a joint press conference afterwards. Didn't happen. They were supposed to have lunch together, too. But Trump kicked Zelenskyy out of the White House. And the White House staff ate Zelenskyy's lunch.
We had a meeting today, as you know, with President Zelenskyy, and I would say it didn't work out exactly great. From his standpoint, I think he very much overplayed his hand. We're looking for peace. We're not looking for somebody that's going to sign up a strong power and then not make peace because they feel emboldened, and that's what I saw happening. I'm looking for peace. We're not looking to go into a 10-year war and play games. We want peace. And it was just my impression that if we do that, if we sign up, he's looking for something that I'm not looking for. He's looking to go on and fight. We're not going to keep fighting. You're going to get the war done or let them go and see what happens. Let them fight it out.
Zelenskyy messed up so badly, he lost Lindsey Graham.
What I saw in the Oval Office was disrespectful, and I don't know if we can ever do business with Zelenskyy again. I think most Americans saw a guy that they would not want to go in business with. The way he handled the meeting, the way he confronted the president was just over the top.
This was a diplomatic catastrophe for Zelenskyy. Without the White House and Republicans in Congress, Ukraine's toast. Zelenskyy knows that. But for some reason, he didn't have the emotional intelligence to behave that way. So talks are off, for now.
He's got to say, I want to make peace. He doesn't have to stand there and say about Putin this, Putin that, and all negative things. He's got to say, I want to make peace. I don't want to fight a war any longer.
Zelenskyy was just on with Bret Baier and somehow made it worse.
Do you think you owe an apology to President Trump?
I'm just telling that I think that we have to be on the same side, and I hope that the president on our side together with us, and that is very important to stop Putin.
So I'm not hearing from you, Mr. President, a thought that you owe the president an apology.
No, I respect president and I respect American people, and if I don't know if I think that we have to be very open and very honest, and I'm not sure that we did something bad.
He just got kicked out of the White House before lunch, and he's not sure he did anything bad. Does Zelenskyy not understand Donald Trump at all? Was he not briefed before this? Manners mean everything to the president. Thank you means a lot to him. I'm sorry would have really helped here. Our country saved your life. Zelenskyy owes us everything. He had the same issue with Biden. Biden's team had to coach him before he got on the phone. You need to be more gracious. You have to stop making so many demands. You have to say thank you. And he'd get on the phone and he'd misbehave. And it drove Joe nuts. And it's driving Trump nuts too. In any business meeting, you have to understand if you're the junior partner in the deal. You got to act like it. Obviously, the Democrats saw the president standing up for American interests and took the side of the others.
What we just witnessed between Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and President Zelenskyy inside the White House was an ambush. It was a planned ambush designed to embarrass President Zelenskyy in order to benefit Vladimir Putin.
What a complete and utter mess. And this is a gift to Putin. We don't gain anything by acting like bullies. And this is what bullies do. And just because you act this way, by the way, it doesn't mean that you're tough.
The President of the United States is a coward who is Vladimir Putin's puppet. And the Vice President of the United States is a pogue and a coward who is Donald Trump's puppet. And so what we just witnessed was a meeting in the Oval Office between two cowardly puppets and a hero.
This is just meaningless sloganeering. What is the Democrats' plan for peace in Ukraine? They don't have one. What's the Democrats' plan to win the war in Ukraine? They don't have one. The Democrats' only plan is to keep doing whatever Joe Biden was doing, which was fight an unwinnable, endless proxy war. Give the Ukrainians just enough not to lose, but not enough to win. And if you do give them too much, it starts a nuclear war. How is that strategy in America's interest? Ending the war is in our interest. It'll lower energy prices, give us access to a new market for minerals, pay down our debt, buy us time to build up our own armaments, which we're depleting, force the Europeans to get some skin in the game and pull the Russians away from a deeper alliance with China. Oh, and save millions of lives. American presidents for decades cut arms deals with the Soviets. Does that make us Russian puppets? The whole thing's so stupid. This is just about what it takes to get a done deal.
You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?" It doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get this thing over with.
Does this mean Zelenskyy's been deported and isn't allowed back into the country? No. Sometimes you have to break up to make up. A lot of relationships go through ups and downs and people get back together. A lot of deals blow up before they're eventually signed. Hopefully, this is just a bump in the road. White House